Why you start motivated and always end up quitting. You always start with the best intentions. There's a moment right at the beginning where everything feels aligned. Your energy is high. Your mind is clear. You feel ready. You tell yourself, this time will be different, and you really mean it. Not because you're naive, but because in that moment, you feel hope again. Then time passes. A few days, sometimes a couple of weeks, and slowly, something changes. You don't stop suddenly. You drift. One skip day, then another. And then the familiar sentence shows up. Why do I always do this? Why can't I stay consistent? Why does nothing ever work for me? Before we go any further, I want to say this clearly. If this pattern feels familiar to you, there is nothing wrong with you. You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're not lacking discipline. You're just using a strategy that was never designed to work for you. Designed to work long term. And today we're going to talk about why. Motivation feels powerful because it arrives with emotion. It comes with clarity, with vision, with the image of a better version of yourself. That's why it feels convincing. But motivation has a hidden structure. It's reactive, it's emotional, and it's temporary. Think about when motivation usually appears: after a bad day, after a moment of frustration, after you've hit a limit. Motivation is often born from discomfort, and discomfort creates urgency. But urgency is not sustainability. Motivation pushes you to act against your current system, not with it. And when you rely only on motivation, you're basically telling yourself, I will change once I feel strong enough. The problem is, life doesn't pause while you wait to feel strong. Most of us grew up with a very specific idea of discipline. Discipline as force, as control, as doing things even when you hate them. And yes, force can work, for a while, but force always creates resistance. Your mind and body are not passive objects. They respond to pressure. If every attempt to change feels like a battle, your system will eventually choose peace, not improvement. Peace. This is why people quit silently, not dramatically, not with a big decision. They just stop. Because stopping feels like relief, and relief always wins against willpower. There's something strangely comforting about restarting. Monday, next month, after this busy period. Restarting gives you a clean identity, a reset, a temporary sense of innocence. But restarting has a cost. Every restart quietly reinforces one belief. I couldn't maintain it. And the brain is a pattern recognition machine. It doesn't judge, it records. So every restart trains your identity, not your habit. Resuming, on the other hand, feels uncomfortable because it forces you to face imperfection. But resuming builds continuity, and continuity is where real change lives. Most advice focuses on behavior. What to do, how to do it, when to do it. But behavior is downstream from identity. You don't wake up every day deciding who you are. You act from who you already believe you are. If you see yourself as someone who always quits, your actions will eventually align with that identity. Not because you want them to, but because identity seeks coherence. So the real question is not, how do I stay motivated? It's what kind of person would keep going, even when motivation disappears. And the answer is never a perfect person, a strong person, a super disciplined person. It's a person who chooses actions small enough to be repeatable on bad days. Here's something most self-improvement content ignores. Your nervous system's job is not growth, it's safety. Sudden, intense change feels like danger, even if the change is positive. That's why extreme plans trigger resistance. Why perfection creates anxiety. Why all or nothing always ends in nothing. If an action feels threatening, your system will avoid it. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. Sustainable change feels boring, unimpressive, almost too easy. What if discipline wasn't about punishment? What if it was about support? Not asking, how much can I push myself, but what can I do without creating internal friction? This version of discipline doesn't shout. It whispers. It doesn't demand transformation. It invites continuity. And continuity, over time, reshapes identity. Quietly. If you've spent years starting and quitting, you don't need a new plan. You need a smaller one. One that respects your energy, your limits, your humanity. You don't need to become stronger. You need to become safer for yourself. And from that safety, consistency emerges naturally. If this video resonated with you, take a moment to like it and subscribe. This channel isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming consistent with who you already are. We're not chasing perfection. We're building continuity. See you in the next video.